From the heart of Broadway, across the nation and around the world, it's The Late Show with David Letterman. Idina Menzel. And a performance from the Broadway musical, If Then.
Our next guest is a Tony Award-winning actress. This woman is nominated again for her performance in If Then at the Richard Rodgers Theater. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the lovely Idina Menzel, everyone.
I'm so excited to be here.
You smell great. I'm excited to have you.
Great?
You smell wonderful.
Thanks.
But you've been here before, but you've just not been here.
I've never been here.
And what were you doing here before?
I sang for Rent, like 15 years ago,
right.
The original Broadway. And I sang for Wicked. I was in green makeup and...
Do we have a... I don't know if we have some things there.
But see, look, this is the thing. I never got to meet you, and I thought that day I would get to meet you because you always go over to the musical acts and shake their hands. But then I was up in the air, and I was waving to you, and you waved to me, and that was as close as I ever got.
Well, it's nice to have you here, for heaven's sake.
It's so great. I used to sit with my boyfriend in high school and like sit in his twin bed in his his room with his Cindy Crawford and Christy Brinkley and Van Halen posters around, and he'd want to get handsy, and I wanted to just watch you, and we had you on all the time. It's taken me.
Well, wait a minute. Why can't we have both?
We could have both. But,
now tell me, have you ever been in a Broadway musical that just sucked? I mean, you mentioned these, Wicked and Rent. And,
I'm very lucky.
Not very lucky. You get into good parts because you're a good performer.
Well, I also get in early on original musicals that take years to make. It's really hard. I don't just do revivals, so it takes a long time, and the whole creative team has to work really hard. But because of that, they write it for me, and it makes my job easier, and then I'm good.
Well, no. I mean, you make it, If that were the case, I'd be good. And then Frozen comes along.
Yeah.
And were you surprised that they contacted you about this?
No, the casting director bootlegged me singing Blackbird on another audition for Tangled. She bootlegged it on her phone. She kept it, and then she hired me for the next one. So that was kind of cool.
But is there like if you wanted to be in movies exclusive, or not exclusively, but let's just say you wanted to change.
I have to audition all the time.
Is that
what you're asking? Yeah. For movies and television, I have to just like kiss a lot of butt and go through the whole thing. Yeah, I do. It's okay.
But is there, and I don't know if this is the correct word, but is there a bias? People coming from musical theater versus people trying to be in motion pictures?
It's more in the pop and the rock world, in the music industry, I'd say. It's very strange. All these years I've been trying to make it and cross over, and I've worked with all these incredible music producers, and everybody had their rules on just what kind of sound a single would be, and you couldn't come from Broadway because you have all this vibrato, and you're going to sound like Ethel Merman on rock radio, And then I finally have this hit song, and it's this song from a Disney movie, and the lyrics are like frozen fractals.
Turned out, You showed him. You showed them all.
I showed him. You just got to stick around long enough.
Got a huge hit record. That's right.
So, but you stick around long enough. It's been, like 25 years since I was fooling around my boyfriend and watching you, and now I finally am here.
So, the night of the Academy Awards, and I said to somebody this afternoon, do we really talk about this still?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Okay. So you're going to be there singing the Academy Award nominated song from the film Frozen.
Something I always hoped I'd be doing.
And there you are. and more pressure or not?
Lots of pressure. I've sung for Barbra Streisand before at the Kennedy Center. I just sang Don't Rain on My Parade with her right there. And I sang for President Obama once when he was literally right there, and it was what you call literal spitting distance. But this was up there, and I was terrified, and I wore shoes. I knew I'm not like Beyonce, Beyonce. You know, I can't just stand and sing in crazy heels and like use my, you know, I can't do it. So I knew that the dress was long enough, and I'd have these great, big, chunky platform heels that I felt solid on, but I'd still look tall and pretty, you know, and like, you know, a little skinnier or whatever. Yep. So I prepared that, and then I went through all this meditation. I said, just forget about those people out there, as amazing as they are, and sing to your son. I have a 4-year-old beautiful little son.
Oh, what a lovely idea.
You know, just sing to walk.
It's perfect.
And then the third thing was just breathe. Like, get out there and don't let them rush you, and breathe.
But this is interesting that you go through this mental, emotional preparation. But this is something you have done every night of your life, more or less, for, you know, all your adult...
Sometimes I have to do that, too. It depends. Some nights I'm not as nervous as others, but right. I need my things to keep me focused.
But this is a big deal. Okay, and so now John Travolta, bless his heart, he comes out... Now, did you hear the introduction? Or
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and he says...
Everyone hoped I didn't, I guess. But I did, and it was quite demoralizing for about 8 seconds.
It bothered you.
Well,
he says Adele Dazeem.
And I felt so sorry for myself. Mm-hmm. I thought, you know, this is my opportunity, and he just wrecked my name, and I felt like... And then I said... Get over yourself. You're at the Oscars. You have this amazing song. You can back it up and sing it live. Like, just do your thing and forget about that. Yeah. So, you know, it took me about, I really think it was 8 seconds. And then the orchestra starts playing, so I can't, like, get stuck in my neuroses for too long, you know. And then I did my thing. I got off. And then Ellen was really nice, and she kept repeating my name so the world would know it. And now it's the best thing that ever happened to me, you know.
It's, what a delightful thing, though. I mean, you could have just screamed over, it's Idina Menzel.
I could have.
It's not Adele Dazeem. I'm sorry.
But I didn't want to seem like I had a chip on my shoulder, and what was I going to do?
But wouldn't it also sort of make you relax when you realized, well, there's nothing I can do wrong
and now
here
if I'm bad,
all.
They'll just think it's that girl Adele Dazeem.
That's right.
Exactly.
Adele Dazeem. Now, when we come back, she's going to be at Radio City one night only.
Yeah, that's a first, too. This is a big couple months for me, Dave.
Fantastic.
Thank you for having me here.
June 16th, Radio City, one night only live. And then when we come back, you're going to sing for us.
From If Then.
Yeah. God bless you. Thank you. Nice to see you. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen, with Idina Menzel.